It's all unraveling. It's all unraveling. Listen in case you didn't know, no. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, no. It's all unraveling. Buckshots and middle fingers up to COVID. It's blood on their hands, so they owe it. Only the ones with no faith will take the vaccines. Step to me with it, I'ma make your back lean. We at the end, new Sodom and Gomorrah. Christ about to come and mop the floor up. Walking up in Louis V with your mask on. Check the me's, man, they about to get their blast on. Prophecy, interpretation, Isaiah 55:11, so it ain't no faking. Crack your dope, it's getting close. I'm here to tell you, just in case you didn't know. Listen, man, in case you didn't know, no. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, no. It's all unraveling. Babylon got pregnant with a daughter. She introduced a new world order. She wicked as hell. If you try to feed the homeless, they take you to jail. And for that wicked heart of power, gon' send them to hell. We at the end, you still walking with your J's on. All that turn up getting fly, boy, them days gone. GMOs in the food we can barely eat. A cashless society, prepping for the beats. Moving along to Rex 84, Jade him, killing the body. If you wicked, you done. If you live your life seeing this a no. Straight shot, no chaser, just in case you don't know. Listen, man, in case you didn't know, no. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, no. It's all unraveling. Listen, man, in case you didn't know, no. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know, no. It's all unraveling. What they done? It's all unraveling. Hey, I would like to welcome you to the podcast. And these are your hosts. Shit, you show. And la hate you. Yeah. Safar. Hey, you know me. Roshan.
Shalom. This is the Truth Be Told Flex podcast, and we would like to welcome you to the show. I am your host, Yeshua Judah. Sitting next to me, well, not literally sitting next to me, but my brother, Safar. How you doing, brother?
Shalom, Maya.
Shalom, man. It's going good, man. It's going good. We would like to welcome everybody to episode 19 to It's All Unraveling, Truth Be Told Flex podcast. Today's show, we entitled it, When the Sober Man Becomes the Enemy. By the time the show is over with, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. I just thought today would be a good day to go back old school, go retro style with the intro, man.
Right.
Yeah, go retro style with the intro. That brother put a message in that song, man. He talk about dead ham. He talk about Agenda 21. He talk about the GMOs and the food. And also the title of our very first show, I believe, Straight Shot, No Chaser, right?
Yeah.
Straight Shot.
That was the second episode.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So with that, being said, we're here. Today is July 22nd, the year 2021, as I always say, on the day that the Greeks call Thursday, we got a good one lined up, man. Very informative. So without, anything else, if you ain't got nothing else that you really want to say, man, before we get started, I'm gonna go right to our first video and also our first article. You ready to get it going?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get it going, man. First segment of the show. Only pandemic we have is the unvaxxed. And again, I use words like that when they use those words. So we know that we're talking about the cocktail, right? Just let it roll.
That is coming through. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are seeing outbreaks of cases in parts of the country that have low vaccination coverage because unvaccinated people are at risk. And communities that are fully vaccinated are generally faring well. The good news is that if you're fully vaccinated, you are protected against severe COVID, hospitalization, and death, and are even protected against the known variants, including the Delta variant circulating in this country. If you are not vaccinated, you remain at risk. And our biggest concern is that we are going to continue to see preventable cases, hospitalizations, and sadly deaths among the unvaccinated. Lastly, I want to reiterate the importance of getting fully vaccinated. I want to reiterate that people who got the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are most effective, especially when against the Delta variant, when given as 2 shots in a series. Both vaccines are most effective 2 weeks after the second dose, with each exceeding 90% effectiveness against severe disease, hospitalization, and death in real-world studies. Not completing the series puts those partially vaccinated at risk of illness. We encourage that people get vaccinated on schedule 3 or 4 weeks after your first dose. But if you are beyond that window, I want to reiterate there is no bad time to get your second shot.
COVID misinformation. What's your message to platforms like Facebook?
They're killing people. I mean, it really, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
Man, I really want you to see him. I want you to show people how he ran for like 0.2 seconds and start running because I guess he forgot where he was at.
He had to remember what Facebook was when they asked him that question. I told you.
Yeah, I actually think Facebook is a person because he said it's killing people.
It's killing people. It's killing people. And of course, you know, with that being said, Safa, of course, the media is going to say that that's what he was talking about, right? That social media is killing people. But regardless of how senile this man is, which I really truly do believe that he is senile, he knew exactly what he was saying. They are masters at wordplay. Because before he left, he made it a point to say that the only pandemic that we are in is the unvaccinated. That's war talk.
Yeah.
That's war talk. This has nothing to do with health, but it has everything to do with the bottom line. They started something that they have to finish. They got all of these different variants out here, Safa. They got the Delta variant now. And here in Houston, they say that we have a new variant that just popped up called the Lambda variant. I believe I'm pronouncing it right, LAMBDA. I remember at the height of the swine flu, right? I knew people was getting sick all the time, Safa. I remember one time I used to get sick from the flu every year. Every year I got sick from the flu, a different strand of flu.
Please. That's a whole nother show on you getting sick and how your sickness is like 100 times worse than anybody's sickness. But that's just a little personal thing that about you share your show. Yeah. Nobody don't know, but it is so funny that COVID said, man, I don't want to have nothing to do with him.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Right. And so how long were we shut down? We were shut down for almost a year, correct?
Okay.
I remember, like I was talking to my wife and kids here in Houston. They don't have the State Fair of Texas here, of course, that's in Dallas, but what they have is the rodeo. And I knew we were on the cusp of Bible prophecy when I was watching the news, and in the middle of the rodeo, broad daylight, they shut that joker down and sent everybody home because of the hangover, because of this new virus that have popped up. Back to what I was saying about the flu. I knew people all the time was getting sick. You work at Amazon, right? And Kohl's, right? And you have a lot of people in your warehouse. So I know that during those years of the flu, you knew people that was calling in sick, and they was actually sick, right?
Right.
Since all of this has happened, this virus, right? Since all of this has been happening, I haven't personally known too many people to say that they have had it. Too many people who have really gotten all that sick from it. The point that I'm making is that all of this tumult, this loud banging noise that they're making about it, it really don't add up. It don't add up. This is a bottom line. The bottom line is we have paid these scientists to come up with a cocktail. We have bought this cocktail, and we got to get this cocktail out to the people. It reminds me kind of like at work, right? Right before it's time to get off, you hear the manager come on the loudspeaker. Before you leave, this got to be done, this got to be done, this got to be done before you leave. And God forbid if you work in a warehouse where you got products and something is lost. Can't nobody go until it's found.
Yep.
And that could be 3 hours after quitting time, but it has to be found. Why? Because that's the bottom line. So the bottom line is that those that are unvaxxed, those that are refusing to take the cocktail is the problem. And they declaring war on them, man.
Yeah. It's our mission is out there. This is what needs to be done. We're gonna lie about it. We're gonna do everything we can to get the mission at hand. Those who don't want to do it, it's fighting. You ain't got no choice. If you don't want to take it, we're gonna make you a target. And you already know how it comes to when so-called America make you a target. You public enemy number one. You gotta have all the proof and everything you need to get yourself out of being the public enemy number one. Yeah, it's an easy thing to get in and a hard thing to get out of.
Don't you think that it's kind of strange though in a nation where you can't even use the word retarded because it's offensive? When that used to be a medical term. When we were kids, the doctor would say, your kid is retarded because that was a medical term. But we're now living in a society where you can't use that word because it's offensive. You can't say handicap, right? Because it's offensive. But yet they are teaching to shame and to hate those that refuse the cocktail. That's strange.
Right.
That's strange. So what is it? Is everybody feelings? Do everybody feelings matter or not? Right?
No. Nobody feelings matters. Only thing that matters is government. What the government is pumping out, and either you with us or you're not. That goes to show you that there's a rulership going on here. Who's on top and who's the servant? Who's running things and who's obeying?
Exactly. That goes to show you that Job 9:24 is correct as well, that the earth was given over to the hand of the wicked. Right. There's a prophecy in 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 24-29. And it says that there should be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. It says that the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. I'm going to repeat that part. All places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another man, to hear his voice. For of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of a field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks, as in an orchard of olives upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. So I remember coming into this truth, finding out about the Apocrypha, and I remember reading that, and I'm saying to myself, man, how in the world can that happen? I'm living in a city of 4 million. Houston is, I think, the 3rd largest city in the nation. I think. I don't know. It's up there, though.
I believe so, yeah.
4 million people. You know, you there with the Metroplex as a whole, 4 million people. Dallas itself only got about 1 million, maybe 2 million, right? But the Metroplex, right?
Yeah.
DFW Metroplex, you're looking at about 4 million people. And Ezra says that he said that for a city, there should be 10 left and 2 of a field. And I asked myself, Safar, how can that happen? We looking at it, man.
We looking at it right now. We watching everything unravel.
We watching it unravel. And truth be told, they know exactly what they're doing, because as we go into these other segments of the show, you're going to see, I have no problem saying it, even on threat of being canceled, right? That they are killing people. They are willingly killing people. And if you listen to what they're saying, they scare people on the threat of dying. If you don't get the cocktail, you're risking dying. You're going to die. And so you got these people that got compromised immune systems, something we're going to talk about later in the show.
Yeah.
That they're really telling that you really need to get it because your immunity is already compromised, and you don't want to get the hangover. It's so bad, it's going to kill you quick. And so these people that got diabetes and high blood pressure and weak kidneys and weak lungs, they go run up in there and get stuck, not realizing that this is how this prophecy is going to be fulfilled, that of a city, it's going to be 10 left.
Wow. And before the flood, it was getting to that point, because before the flood, the Most High stopped everything from growing. You know, it was hard to survive. Then came the flood. Then it was only 8 people left in the city. So we approaching the reverse side of that. We doing with the death, and then it's gonna be unmanned in the field. So we on both ends of the flood.
And to show you that what he said, he was not talking about social media. He was actually talking about people who is refusing the cocktail. The only pandemic we have is the unvaccinated, is what he said. And I'm quoting what he said. Okay, YouTube, I'm quoting what he said. The only pandemic we have is the unvaccinated, to show you that those who are refusing the cocktail is going to be the enemy, is right here in this same scripture. Because it says, for a city there should be 10 left, 2 of a field, which shall hide themselves in thick groves. So that means that those who is not complying to whatever system that is being put out there, and they are one of the ones that are left behind, they're going to be hiding themselves, man. They're going to be trying to protect themselves. And that's what
it's going to be. It's going to be much. It's not much more woe, but it's going to be woe to those that are left, and much more woe to those that did get taken. Exactly. So us who going to be left behind, which is what you want to be, is left behind, contrary to Christianity belief, it's going to be hard for us.
It's going to be hard for us, man. It's going to be hard. It's like I was talking to my family the other day. We're going to have to start learning how to cut ties with family members. Family members who do not think the same way that you think, who do not believe the same way that you believe, who is not on the same page as you on, because Matthew 24 say that they will, how does it say it? They will
persecute you and turn you in.
Well, that they is your immediate family.
Yeah, the family that we have, brother. I'm only dealing with certain ones. Only certain ones that I know I can just easily cut off and be like, okay, I'm done. But the ones who I already cut off, I ain't returning back.
Con. And it's gonna it's gonna be like that, man. We got a little bit of time since it's the two of us. What we gonna do is we finna get into this music break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back and finish up on this. And then we're gonna talk about CDC and the cocktail and how it might not protect those who are immunocompromised, right? But let's get a little music in the show like we always do. Barack Akbar, Voice in the Wilderness. Then we'll come back and finish what we doing.
In times. Once again, we are the voice in the wilderness. Cry loud, stand out. Gorilla boy, let's get 'em. You can have that flesh. I'm good with this manner. I examine myself. I can do better. And we strive for perfection. We cannot settle. Seeking the kingdom of heaven. Storing up treasure, we tryna make the kingdom, that's it. Messiah's coming, endure to the end. Got my bag packed and I'm out. Lot's wife never look back. It's time to go where you at. The wilderness, y'all ready? I don't even know where we headed. Trust the most high, I'm good with this manna. The bread of life, solid rock, foundation, I'm thankful. He woke us up when he was at the door. We was in the world, that was time wasted. Salvation, we escaped off the plantation. Spare not, don't paraphrase it, ain't ashamed of it, ain't scared to say it, let's go. You can keep that flesh. I'm good with this manner. Had to examine myself. I can do better. In times, we cannot settle. Seeking the kingdom of heaven, storing up treasure. You can keep that flesh. I'm good with this manner. Had to examine myself. I can do better. New Jerusalem is the goal. We cannot settle. Seeking the kingdom of heaven. This for the chosen ones. I pray you overcome. They say it's many ways to the Father. It's only one. Yash. Should we stay? Should we flee? I just pray the Father put us where He need us to be. Who is that knocking at the door? It's the Savior. You should answer that. Just hit the gas on them. I ain't letting up. You can cancel that. Revelation 1:14. Had to show the pastor that. And verse 15. Bethlehem, that's where the man at. The house of bread, living water. He split the rock, and I'm thankful. Drink of this shit, never thirst again. Say less, I'ma drink it. Salvation, we escaped off the plantation. Spare not, don't paraphrase it, ain't ashamed of it, ain't scared to say it, let's go. Y'all know how we come. You can have that flesh, I'm good with this manner. I examine myself, I can do better. And we strive for perfection. We cannot settle, never. Seeking the kingdom of heaven, storing up treasure. You can keep that flesh, I'm good with this manner. Had to examine myself, I can do better. Let's go. In times, we cannot settle. Never. Seeking the kingdom of heaven. We are the voice in the wilderness.
I ain't never heard that one.
My bad.
Yeah, I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah, my first time hearing it today, man. Voice in the Wilderness. Everything that brother make is prophetic.
Yeah, I'm listening to them words like, wow.
Yeah, everything that brother make is prophetic. So if you want some righteous prophetic music, check out the Rock Akbar. His entire album, man. I think he has 2 of them out right now. And they fire, man. They are fire. Yeah. So there's a war on those of us who choose not to take the cocktail, and I think that is really hypocritical. I think because we're living in a time now, where you saying that it's your body, my choice, but yet you're forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. And if I do have a problem with it, what we see in scripture, that you're going to drop a hammer on me. You know what I'm saying? Right. You came across the article or the video this morning where, what was it that he said? He said that those that are not going to get vaccinated, how did he say it?
Those that are not, It was on the same line of not getting vaccinated. You know, he was real stern on we have to do something about them. They're gonna pay, is what he said.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what
they're
he
gonna
said.
pay.
They're going to pay. That's what he said, right? And so you need to listen to what it is he's saying, because what they do is they disguise those type of sayings behind. One could take that as saying that he's saying you're going to pay with your life, which is true. But he's saying, you may think that he's saying that you're going to pay with your life because you're going to die because you didn't get the cocktail. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that if you don't hurry up and comply, that the time of us asking you to take this cocktail, that's running out. It's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. Exactly. That grace period is coming to an end.
It's time for judgment.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I looked at it, man. He was, even though, you know, he's a talking head and reading, whoever wrote that, he was feeling what he was reading too. He was meaning
it. Right. Exactly. Yeah, he was feeling. Yeah, he meant everything that he said. Let's take a minute. What I'm going to do right now is I'm gonna make an announcement, man, about some stuff that's coming up, right? This is out of the Light Hebrew magazine with Sister Delta that was on our show. I just hit her up and asked if she had anything that she would like for us to make mention of. I let her know that we was recording today. And the thing that she asked was, of course, her magazine, The Light. I don't know if you guys have seen that magazine, but that magazine is incredible.
On fire.
On the cover, on the cover of this month is your Pod Q. And your Pod Q she's doing a lot of good stuff right now, man. And so that's somebody that you guys should be really looking forward to. I can't get in it right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, read out exactly what it is that she have here. We got your Pod Q. We have Zamiria, Israel. And more performers is going to be added to her magazine as well, that she's going to be spotlighting. I know that there is also an event that is going on. Here it is. Thank you, Sister Delta. It just came in right now. She's going to have the annual Drip and Sip remix. It's going to be Sunday the 29th in Arlington, Texas. And the time is going to be from 5 to 10 p.m. You need any information on how to get tickets. If there is a ticket sale or something like that, just contact Sister Delta. Her email address is, the website is TLHmagazine.net. And that means the Light Hebrew magazine. So I just wanted to put a spot in there for her and all the great things that she is doing for us as a community. You're talking about somebody that is helping build, Sister Delta. She's about a business, okay?
Yes.
That lady is about her business, right?
I want in on that thing in Arlington. That's right down the street from me. I want in on it. I'm gonna get in contact with her. I'm gonna reach out to her and get information on it.
And I'm gonna repeat that one more time. That is the annual Drip and Sip remix, and that's going to be Sunday, August 29th. And it's going to be at Arlington, Texas. And it's going to be from 5 to 10 p.m. From 5 to 10 p.m. If I remember, I'm going to put that in the description at the end of the show. Let's move on, man. CDC warns COVID-19 vaccines might not protect people who are immunocompromised, man. Let me get this article up.
Like, duh.
right. And
I read that and I'm like, man, are you serious? Really? Duh.
And in a way, you kind of stole my thunder. I want to let you know that, okay?
Okay.
No. That's good. That's good because that let me know that we on the same page. Because that was going to be my first question. My very first question is, does that surprise you? Go ahead, man.
No, that don't surprise me. Come on now. a car with a lot of issues in it going on with it. I think if I just change the tire, that'll fix the whole car.
Right,
No, man.
right,
No.
right.
You got a lot of
Exactly.
going on inside your body. This issue, that issue. Now ain't no telling what else you put inside your body to mess. And then now you want to put that inside your body. Yeah, come on. There's a lot going on in there.
It's a lot going on in there, man. And you know, the strange thing about this is, and this is what people are not realizing, this is why we should not trust. This is why we should not trust what is coming out of the voices of these talking heads, right? The Most High built us with this beautiful thing that is calling an immune system. All of us, we were born with an immune system. And I'm not going to go too far off into this, but I'm going to explain a little bit how this thing works.
Right.
They scaring people into not wanting to get sick, when getting sick is really what you want to do. Because when you get sick, Safa, this is showing that your immune system is working. It's not the virus or the bacteria that makes you sick. It's your body that makes you sick because your body attacks the virus or the bacteria.
Right.
When the virus or the bacteria enters the body goes into defense mode and the T cells attack it. When the T cells attack it, you start getting a fever. It tells your liver to give you a fever. You start running hot. You might start having pain like headaches. You might start trying to get rid of stuff in your body. That's why you get the diarrhea or you start throwing up. This is your body fighting whatever it is that is in you that should not be. In other words, if you didn't have an immune system, you would know that something strange is in you that's killing you. You dig what I'm saying? So with these vaccines, they have something that's called adjuvants. Now, adjuvants are your metals, your mercury, your aluminum, the formaldehyde. This is what they use to trick the body that something is in it, or a virus or a bacteria is in it that's really not in it. So what your body do is it bypasses the T cells and go right to the B cells, and your body start producing antibodies. Antibodies is what fights the virus or the bacteria. Antibodies fight the virus or the bacteria. So now think about antibodies that your body is producing, but it don't have a virus or a bacteria to fight. What is it going to fight? It's going to fight you.
It's going to fight you. Because it's made to fight.
Exactly. It's made to fight. So you done skipped step 1 and went right to step 2. And now you got these antibodies that don't have anything to fight. So the only thing that it can fight is you. That's the only thing that it can fight.
So it'll find the antibiotic don't have nothing to fight. So it will find something that's going through something in your body to try to deal with it.
To try to deal with it.
So for instance, you got bad kidneys, it's gonna try to, go to the kidneys.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna find whatever weak is inside your body, the anti is gonna try to go forward.
It's gonna try to go forward, exactly. And this is what is called autoimmune deficiency. That's what they call AIDS, quote unquote. AIDS. That's what they call AIDS. And I got a list of autoimmune deficiencies here that was not in existence before 1950. People, you can go check this your own self. A lot of parents that are dealing with these things with your children, we're going to explain to you why. CDC warns that COVID-19 vaccines may not protect people who are immunocompromised. Here's the list, man. We're seeing all the time now without a T cell mediate response to sick part of the disease. It says they just happen spontaneously. And that's the thing too, right? These things happen spontaneously. They just happens. Asthma. Think about that. Kids that have asthma. They don't have no fever before it. They don't have no headache before it. They be sitting up watching TV and then all of a sudden their lungs just tighten up on them. You see what I'm saying? Autoimmune deficiency, man. That's what it is, right? Asthma, allergies, eczema, Crohn's, colitis, MS, muscular sclerosis, the Parkinson's disease, Sjögren's, Hashimoto's, and more. It says that these diseases are all marked by increased auto-antibody productions without cell mediation. This is what an autoimmune disease is. All these diseases come on suddenly in some case. In others, over a while with slow onset of symptoms, but there never is any sickness that precedes it. The diseases we are always hearing about in the news now did not start with a fever, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, body aches, or rashes. These diseases was diagnosed by the presence of autoantibodies in the bloodstreams. An autoantibody is where you have an antibody attacking you. It is attacking you and not the microbe or the virus or the bacteria. So why is this happening? Because of the cocktails.
Yep.
Asthma was not a thing before 1950.
It's a lot that came out after 1950. I wonder why, because now, after 1948 with that fake entry, now we need to deal with the real ones who should be on that land in Israel. So let's just start shooting them up with the little, the TB shot where it leaves a little dot on your arm.
Right.
So in the 50s, they started doing a whole lot of experiments on us, man.
Right.
I'm talking about, of course, a lot of things didn't show up to the 50s. We was considered a little bit free then. We could roam around more. But now we need to be a walking disease. We need to do something to them, start cooking stuff up in the lab so we can give to them. Now they walking around with this and that and the other. So I know I came out of nowhere with asthma. I didn't know I had eczema to my first child.
Asthma and eczema, they run together.
Yeah, you got asthma, eczema, and bronchitis. They the same thing. Inside and outside.
Exactly.
Inside and outside your body.
I suffer with asthma. I still suffer with eczema, and I suffer with allergies. And the thing, I remember clearly my mom dealing with this stuff, man, because I would catch an allergy attack, and the medicines that the doctors gave her to combat the allergies, it would dry me up so much that it made me have asthma. And so my mom was like, what to do? You dig what I'm saying? Because no parent want to see their child not being able to breathe. You see what I'm saying? I mean, at least he's sneezing and nose running, eyes might be all puffy, but at least he can breathe.
But the breathing.
And if I give him this medicine to dry that up, right? I dry up the mucus that the allergies cause, but then he's gonna be so dry that his lungs gonna get tight that the brother can't breathe. All of these things came because of these antibodies, man. And they think that this is a marvelous thing. Look, there is no way, there is order in everything. And the order is a virus or bacteria gets into your system. Off the top, T cells recognize it. They blow the horn. When the T cells recognize that they blow the horn, the B cells get to work and do what they start doing, and that's why you get sick. And once your body have created an antibody to whatever virus or bacteria that was in you, once you are healed from that, you can never again get sick from that again. That's how beautiful our immune system is. You dig? You'll never get sick from it again. Now, what they doing is they are bypassing the first step and going right to the second step. And now your body is building antibodies for something that don't exist. Now, think about this, man. Everything has order. Everything should work in order.
Yeah.
Think about you going out one night to a bar, to a club, whatever you do. You see a female. And before you even get to know her, barely know her name, you go find a preacher in the establishment and just say, marry me.
Right. Well, after I check to see if it's a real female, because
after you check this, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That might be
Crocodile Dundee said.
That might be
Crocodile
fault of skipping the first part of courting, though.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
Crocodile Dundee said he call them Sheilas and make sure you find out if they not a Sheila.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, Crocodile Dundee today will get canceled, man. Cancel culture will cancel him, man. You can't talk like that nowadays, right?
Yeah, just take what you see. But yeah,
But there's
you'll skip some steps.
you can't skip
By
steps.
No, you can't. Cause order, like you said, there's an order for everything, man. I'm not gonna just sit here and bite into a burger and swallow it. So no.
You know, there's steps to it. Now check this out. This is what concerns me with this, sir, right? It says CDC warns the COVID-19 vaccination might not protect immunocompromised. Immunocompromised is meaning that people who have compromised immune systems to begin with, right? The first part of the article say the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention on Friday warned people who are immunocompromised the COVID-19 vaccine may not have been effective for them and encouraged them to take precautions as if they were not vaccinated. What's the point of getting vaccinated if I still got to take precautions as if I was not vaccinated?
Hey, we need to put out all this saying this and saying that because you still gonna die. We just need to cover our asses on, you know, when you die, hey, maybe you had this going on with you.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? That it's about a bottom line of making sure that this cocktail get in everybody's system. Because when you look at it, man, why in the world would you put this cocktail in an immunocompromised person knowing that they already dealing with something?
Because you got the records.
You got the records.
You got the person records, everything from when they exposed, when they first came in for something wrong, what the test came out to be. All the doctors do, they go in, type up a word, wait for these words to fall on the screen and say, okay, I choose this word. Okay, he got this, he got that. Now let's give them the medicine.
And it's real easy to say you don't need to take this, right? You don't need this Pfizer. You don't need this Moderna. You don't need that, right? Because you already dealing with this. But instead, they do the complete opposite, Safa, which is, oh, man, you got this and you got that. You really need to take this because, you know, those that got compromised immune systems or underlying health conditions, as they say, that's the word that they say, they are the ones that suffering the most from this, man. And so you go in there, man, you diabetic, high blood pressure, say, man, give it to me. Give it to me. You know what I'm saying? I got to have it. I got to have it because I'm scared of dying.
Yeah, on, and that's how they do. They scare you with numbers of death.
That's what they thank you.
They scare you with that numbers of death. So many people done died, and just forget when me and you go research. So many recovered outweigh more than death.
You see what I'm saying?
Way more.
And
then now they got the vaccinated chart up along with the global and the U.S. chart now on the research page that we be going to. They got how much doses was sent, the percentage of people that took it that was shipped out. Yeah, they got real informative. Now, I'm still looking at their recovery rate. I don't care what you're putting out there.
Let's do what's crazy in the news.
Oh man.
Then we're not finished with this because we're not finished with the CDC warns COVID-19 vaccines. We're gonna come back to finish that, but I want to get what's crazy in the news.
We could have finished up and we get around to it. We don't.
I'm trying to make sure.
Okay.
That all right.
in the group meet, I sent you just the last two articles. One was a throwback on beavers using beaver anal glands to make vanilla. Like that's something that I used to always talk about, and for a while I stopped eating vanilla and all this and all that because it was made from beaver anal glands that surround the beaver butt. Now scientists, I'm gonna tell y'all now what's crazy news always come from the science page because y'all trust in science, y'all believe in science with the medical and medicine and everything else. Let's talk about stuff they discover. Let's talk about stuff that they theorizing. So now the new vanilla taste, along with anal beaver butt, is old recycled plastic found in trash cans. So anything that you eating with vanilla flavoring, and that is either from a beaver's anus or some recycled plastic out the trash can. I'm trying to keep a straight face. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, man, because me and Michael just read an article last night, man, that there's bugs in peanut butter.
Yeah, man.
Just Google it.
Bugs and peanut butter and chocolate.
Just Google it.
They already did the Reese's Pieces. They already did that by breaking it open and showing worms coming out of it.
The FDA has a certain percentage that is approved of amount of bugs that can be in all of our food. So it's not just the peanut butter. As we continue to read the article, it's the majority of the foods that we eat have bugs and rat parts and all kind of stuff in it, man. I'm not making this up. Go Google it for yourself.
The thing you said right there about what's in they and then that's when they try to, no pun intended, smooth it over by saying, hey, it's not that much. It's not bugs. It's just bug parts that you eat.
Bug parts, right? That made it even worse.
I said, man. So now we dealing with beaver anus, plastic. So I can just get some plastic somewhere and say, here, make some vanilla out of this, out of a trash can. And now we got bugs in America's favorite spread. Peanut butter.
And vanilla is a plant. It's a bean that grows.
Yes,
it don't need no help.
The only thing to do with vanilla, if you ever get a real good vanilla bean, put it in some vodka, I want to say, for a good couple of months, and that joker turns straight to vanilla. You good. Who discovered that, man? Who discovered all this? Who discovered tree farts? Who discovered transplant dookie inside of you?
The same people who discovered mercury in the cocktails, formaldehyde in the cocktails. The same people who discovered to put the lucifer in the cocktails to make you glow. It's the same. You said it yourself. The way you get this from is out of the science department. The most of what's crazy in the news. Let's look at this video clip that goes with what we talking about with the CDC. This video. Let's watch this video.
All right.
Really hoping that I have developed something from T cells. That's the only hope I have.
41-year-old Antara Desai had a heart and double lung transplant in 2008. Then in 2017, her mom gave her a kidney.
Because I have to take it after lunch.
She takes 25 pills a day. That includes anti-rejection meds. Desai has had 2 doses of a COVID vaccine, but so far she has not developed any antibodies to COVID.
Transplant team at Hopkins, they're telling me that it's too early to tell.
Desai is part of a study at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. Hopkins transplant surgeon Dr. Dori Segev is one of the researchers.
We've been studying since December the immune response to vaccination in immunosuppressed people and also in particular in transplant patients.
To do that, they look at antibody response in people who have had the vaccine.
About 50% of transplant patients after 2 doses of the mRNA vaccines have no detectable antibody at all, which obviously scares us and the patients because this probably means that they have much less protection from COVID than people with normal immune systems.
Segev says people with normal immune systems show very high antibody response to the vaccine.
They should get vaccinated, but pretend like they're not vaccinated in terms of the decisions that they make of what to do.
Desai is doing just that.
I haven't been to any grocery stores, no restaurants, nothing indoor. We meet family and friends who are vaccinated outside.
She's gone back to work as a physical therapist, but she requires her patients to wear masks.
I wear double mask. My patients know my history. My employer knows my history.
While vaccinated people are going without their masks, Desai wants to remind them that wearing masks protect people like her.
And I really request everybody, just please wear masks, especially when you are grocery store, malls, restaurants, indoors.
Lisa Robinson, WBAL TV 11 News.
Don't make no sense. That joker said it's too early to tell. No, she's still alive and walking well for you to for waiting for that medicine to kick in. That's when y'all know, when y'all can tell.
But yeah, you are exactly right. I be forgetting, man. My bad. But you are exactly right, man. I got several questions, sir. First thing,
Yeah.
She don't have the heart that she was born with.
No,
she don't have neither lungs that she was born with. Neither do she have her born kidneys.
That's 3 major organs.
All right. And they still gave this lady this cocktail. They still gave this lady this, and they said that her body is not producing antibodies to COVID. Well, the body is already stressed out to the max. That's like, dude, that's like me having a 1987 Ford Escort. You remember the 1987 Ford Escort?
Yeah.
You remember that over there?
Yep.
With 250,000 miles on it. This car that gave you ain't never known a Ford, especially a Ford car, to give you that many miles, right? But let's just say that this 1987 Ford Escort that gave me 250,000 miles, right? Motor ain't no good whatsoever. And I pull up an Exxon and put 93 octane gas in it because I say I want to try to help the motor.
No good.
That's a waste. That's a waste of time, waste of money. In fact, I might just get. I got an Impala that I ain't washed. I know in about 5 years, and you can ask my wife. I say I'm scared to wash it because if I do, it might stop rolling. It might be a shock to the system.
Well, you know my truck. I ain't finna touch that transmission fluid. I'm gonna keep that junk where it's at. Yeah.
So you dealing with a lady, man. You dealing with a lady who has had a heart transplant, both lungs and a kidney, and you still, and she's worried about what?
If you got a mask around me, you got to put on a mask around me. Two masks. Now,
and she and her lung.
I'm gonna say you turned up your brand new lung. The person said that ain't the reason why I died now.
She wore 2 masks. And this was the thing, man. I don't know if you caught it or not. The dude said you should get vaccinated, but pretend as if you are not.
Yeah. That's why I was staring. I'm like, what?
That go to show you that it's about a bottom line. This is not about saving lives, man. This has nothing to do with saving lives, Sabah. This has to do with getting whatever's in those syringes in everybody.
Come.
That's what this has to do with. This ain't got nothing to do with saving lives, man. The last people in Earth, nobody should be getting the cocktail. Okay.
Right.
The last people in Earth that should be getting the cocktail is people that already have underlying health problems. Because what the cocktail do is the cocktail turns your body against itself.
Yep.
You can listen to your government. You can listen to your doctors, and this is the problem with listening to the doctors, man.
Yeah, you can listen to your pastors because they doing it now. They got centers set up. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. These doctors have incentives for giving out this cocktail, man. They profit from this. Drug companies aren't the only ones that's profiting from this cocktail, from all of these cocktails, man. Doctors make large amounts of money from vaccines, man, from these cocktails. Large amounts of money, man. In other words, I
said you have a list.
I don't have it, man. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Man. Yeah. But they make large amounts of money for that, man.
I have somebody at my old job that know how much because the doctor allowed her husband to get stuff done to them along with the cocktail, and that's all they put on the list because the doctor told her how much they get paid. It was a lot of money.
And so now we talking about people, right? Who we supposed to trust, who we go to for help, but they have an alternative motive, man. They not fit to just like with people that, like you said, they got the chart in front of you, man. They got stuff so juiced up now. They got stuff that's called teledoc, where you can call they diagnose you over the phone. So when you get your name and all and health history and all of this, they'll see that you got it. It's not that hard to be like, this is not what's best for you. But what's best for you is not the plan. What's best for them is the plan. Look, you come to my mechanic shop and you say that you need brakes. Well, when you leave your car at my mechanic shop, thinking that it's just the brakes, well, you're going to get a phone call from my shop and be like, hey, I found, your alternator ain't no good either. And this starter that you got, you're going to need another one of them. Why? Because I'm making money off the sale.
Yeah. We went in to check a tire on my wife's new car. Man, they said they talking about they didn't check the tire, but they said about 6 other things that need to be done. I said, man, we ain't going back there no more.
You see? And that's what happened, man. They not telling these people, man, that you shouldn't be. In fact, they said, get it and pretend like you don't.
Yeah.
Still wear your
mask. I'm guessing that's what he told her. So, if you pretend that you don't have it, maybe that'll get your body to start acting nice and want to do for you. Man, that woman don't have nothing of her own inside of her.
Nothing. Nothing.
And they shot her.
Now she got a messenger RNA inside of her that's rewriting her entire right.
Now she already had to deal with the transplant and the body getting used to everything that's new inside of her. And that takes a long time. And those are major organs.
How she get out of them organs to begin?
That's a whole nother show.
Okay.
That's that deep dark whale episode right there.
Say, man.
Yeah.
She got everything. Only thing she ain't got is a new brain.
Yeah.
How she get out of them organs, man? That one lady got a new heart, 2 lungs, and a kidney.
Pac couldn't even get 2 of them when he got shot up. He only got 1 lung. He couldn't even get 2.
Say, man, look here, man. Look here.
She got a heart, 2 lungs, and kidney. Yeah, her mom kidney.
Yeah. We got one more thing to hit, man, and we gonna get out of here, man.
Oh, this crazy story.
Yeah, we got one more thing to hit.
When I was read this story, man, all I think is Vax That Thing Up song.
Oh man. It says the French rush for vaccines after they're told they need them to go to cafes, man. Yeah. Revelation 13 says that the dragon gave a beast the power to deceive many by raining down fire from heaven. And he caused as many as he could, both rich and poor, small and bond, to receive a mark in their forehead. And I'm paraphrasing, and if they didn't receive the mark, it said that he had the power to keep them from buying or selling. You got people that walk around that for years we've been saying that the mark of the beast 666, and it's gonna be these barcodes, and it's a chip that they gonna put in your arm, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it ain't none of that, but what I'm telling you is that if that's what you sold on and locked on, you about to miss out on something, because it's not just that; it's an entire system.
That's my mom brought something up of that. It's the mark. I said, Mama, the beast is the system. The beast is the government. The beast is handing out a mark. The beast is handing out a mark. The beast is handing out everything that it needs so it can control. It's just not no one shot or this and the other. No, the beast is a person or a thing or a government force that's releasing all its weapons. So you have to realize it's just not no barcode. It's not no this. It's not no that. How would the barcode get out if it's just that? Who's going to put it out?
Exactly. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? You got somebody right now, you know, pretty much, you know, teaching that this is how, you know, individuals gonna know who is who and stuff like that with, you know, with the Lucifer that's, you know, that's illuminated, that's within it. No, that has nothing to do with it, man. I mean, and I'm not saying, like I say, I'm not saying that that's not it. But what I'm saying is you got to look at this thing.
More to it.
It's more to it. When you dealing with, I was in a store the other day, and I was talking to a lady. A guy came in, a taxi driver came in, and he not just a taxi driver. You know, we so shallow. You hear that, you be like, he a taxi driver. He ain't got no money. Let me correct this. He is the owner of the taxi company. He just happened to be the owner of the company, and he drive his own cars. Let me clarify that. So a taxi driver come in, and we was talking. And so the lady got to mention it. They got to talking about cruising on ships. And she said, "Oh, you been?" She said, "Me and my girlfriends just got our tickets. We going sometime soon." It's like, oh. So, you know, my ears perked up because I know what's going on in the world. Right. I just over there. This is sister talking too. I say, you got the jab? She looked at me. She was like, no. The taxi driver was like, yeah, I got both of them. I got them when they came out. He said, you get them? He said, you get them? You know me. Hell no.
Right.
She in the back. She said, I'm not getting that sucker juice. That's what she said. I said, well, how you think you're going to get on that boat? And she looked at me. She said, what? She said, you ain't got to get it. He said, yeah, you do. He know because he just got back. He said, yeah, you do. He said, you're not getting on the boat without it. Her whole demeanor changed.
Wow.
Look at the system.
Now she in a situation to compromise.
Now she in a
her
situation.
Her beliefs.
Yeah. Exactly. Look at this last paragraph. This is what the president of France say.
Exactly what you highlighted made me think of that song, but go ahead.
The last paragraph, it says vaccination. This is what the article says, YouTube. Vaccination, Macron said, is the only path to return to what? Normal life. He called it our collective shield. In other words, if we were at a party, how black people party, we were sitting at a table. He's saying that the vaccination is the trump card. That's the hot joke that trumps everything on the table. If you want to get back to normal life, this is what you got to do. So this beast had the power to keep those who got money, who don't have money, those who have prestige, who don't have prestige, that they can neither buy nor sell unless they have.
Yep. So the beast is passing. Okay, this year, this may be the mark. Next year, that could be the mark. But it is my mark that I'm letting y'all know what y'all need to do what y'all need to do.
And if this is happening in France,
oh yeah.
You have got to believe that at some point that these things are going to start coming across the pond, man.
You gotta believe.
And the thing with American Sophia is that we think ain't nothing gonna happen to us, man. We too privileged.
No, we too. Yeah. Now they don't realize this is the story that I got about the Statue of Liberty, that the French gave us that. So now let's take it to prison. If you're in prison and somebody just up and give you something, you got to pay back, regardless. So whatever fits to happen in France, it's gonna happen over here.
It's gonna happen over here. What's happening in
we gave y'all that big statue. We gave y'all this. We gave y'all that. According to time, French Revolution, everything. Y'all owe us.
Exactly. And look how shallow people is, man. It said a record number of French citizens booked vaccine shots. Now, how true this is, I don't know, right? As far as if they really booked them or not. I'm gonna say that much, right? How true this is, I don't know. But according to how it's read, right, President Emmanuel Macron said that starting in August, anyone who wants to visit cafes, bars, or shops must show health pass that certifies they have been vaccinated or recently tested negative. But if you continue to read this article, he got to a point where he said even a negative test is not going to be sufficient enough. In other words, we got to get this thing to the same thing that Biden was saying, the same thing that the director of the CDC was saying, is that we are waging a war against all of y'all who refuse to take the cocktail.
Right.
We got the power, y'all don't. So at some point, you're going to comply or fold.
Yeah.
They can play the waiting game, all right? It's like playing chicken in a 1987 Escort with an 18-wheeler. Who you think gonna move first?
Right.
We don't watch world news, man. This is why this show is so valuable. This show is valuable because we are able to go find the stuff that is in the news that they are not making world news that should be world news. Like the article.
It's very valuable, man. And the things that they put out there are just so surface, man. Stuff that we bring and present. It touched the surface, and we're going to tell y'all how they buried it.
Exactly.
And what they buried and what they used to fertilize with. To make it look the way it looks. We're going to tell you how the grass got greener.
Exactly. Like this article right here. We're not going to talk about this article, but it needs to be seen. It needs to be seen. These are the things that they're not talking about. These are the things that people need to hear about. This is what they're not showing you in the news.
Come on.
They don't want you to know about that. And then when they write the article, right, they got to talk about it because somebody done went and did the numbers and was like, wait a minute, this not adding up, man. You got all of these people that's vaccinated and they dying, and these people that's not unvaccinated, they not dying. And so the media get a hold to it and be like, okay, we got to go cover our tracks up, right? So what they do is they write an article and they say something ridiculous like this here. This is what they say. Check this out. This is what they say. Here's a simple thought. Imagine everyone is now fully vaccinated. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's the wrong part. Here we go.
Yeah, that part is still funny too.
Here it is right here. That part right there. This the part. These people think people are dumb. It says the risk of dying from COVID, this is what the article says, double roughly every 7 years older a patient is. 35-year difference between 35 years old and a 70-year-old means the risk of death between the two patients has doubled 5 times. Equivalently, it is increased by a factor of 32. And unvaccinated, listen to this. When I read this, man, I said, an unvaccinated 70-year-old might be 30 times more likely to die of COVID than an unvaccinated 35-year-old. This dramatic variation of the risk profile with age means that even excellent vaccines don't reduce the risk of death for older people to below the risk of some younger demographics. So why are we giving it to older people? Common sense tell you that if you 70 and he 35, that you're a banana peel away from being in the box. Everybody that they are pushing this on so far are the very ones that don't need it the most.
Right.
Who was dying at the beginning of this? The old people.
The elders. Yep, the elders.
And now they got and everybody that's getting it, look at the common denominator of the ones who ran out and get it. They either old or got underlying health conditions, which means that they was what? Scared. What did Ahaya say? My people are being led like sheep to the slaughter. Who do you got your trust in? Who do you believe in? I'm like Nacho Libre. I believe in God. I don't believe in science. I don't believe in science.
Yeah, science how you doing some crazy stuff. Taking crazy stuff.
It's been real. I appreciate it, man. I think we got some good information now. What's crazy in the news was good as well. You know, this is nothing but a trumpet that is being blown for our people, man.
Right.
We don't do this. I always got to say this, that we don't do this, you know, for a popularity contest or any of that. We only come here and do this because of the love that we have for our people. It's the complete opposite of everything that you're hearing on CNN, HLN, and Fox. This sure is coming out of straight love. And the Bible itself says that it's going to be like 10 to a city. Bible itself says that they will persecute you and kill you and turn you over. Well, you're seeing how these things are happening. The very issues that are in the world today is causing a division in families. People are getting divorced over because if you're going to receive the cocktail or not. Parents are getting upset with kids and kids getting upset with parents over this issue right now, man. If you care about yourself, protect yourself. You don't have to believe nothing that Truth Be Told Flex Podcast said. Go do the research for yourself.
Go do the research yourself.
Go do your research for yourself. But with that being said, I am Oxify. You got anything that you wanna? I mean, I'm not Oxify. I'm Oxy.
I mean, you know, you are according to the meaning of Safa.
Right.
Yeah. Now, just fear God, keep His commandments. That's the whole duty of man, ladies and gentlemen.
That is the whole duty of man. So we appreciate you guys, and if you don't remember, here's the instructions.
Subscribe, and ring that bell. Comment, that bell. Thumbs up or down. No, if you can, do a big toe up, big toe down. If you can.
And that email is truthbetoflexpodcast@gmail.com. Any questions, anything that you feel like that we might need to talk about on the show, hit us up there. We'll get it. We'll bring it up in the show. Any announcements or anything like that that's regarding to, our people. We feel like that it's something that's worthy to be talked about. We will bring it up in the show as well. But with that being said, we're going to leave you the same way we brought you in.
It's all unraveling.
Yeah, it's all unraveling. It's all unraveling. Listen in case you didn't know. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know. It's all unraveling. Buckshots and middle fingers up to COVID. It's blood on their hands, so they owe it. Yeah. Only the ones with no faith to take the vaccines. Step to me with it, I'ma make your back lean. We at the end, new Sodom and Gomorrah. Christ about to come and mop the floor up. Walking up in Louis V with your mask on. Check the meats, man, they about to get their blast on. Prophecy, interpretation, Isaiah 55:11, so it ain't no faking. Crack your dough, it's getting close. I'm here to tell you, just in case you didn't know. Listen in case you didn't know. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know. It's all unraveling. Babylon got pregnant with a daughter. She introduced a new world order. She wicked as hell. If you try to feed the make it hard, our power gon' send them to hell. We at the end, you still walking with your J's on. All that turn up getting fly, boy, them days gone. GMOs in our food we can barely eat. A cashless society, prepping for the bees. Moving along to Rex 84, Jade Him, killing the body. If you wicked, you done. If you live your life in sin, that's a no. Straight shot, no chaser, just in case you don't know. Listen in case you didn't know. No. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know. No. It's unraveling. Listen in case you didn't know. No. It's almost getting close. In case you didn't know. No. It's unraveling. It's all unraveling. I would like to welcome you to the podcast. And these are your hosts. Unraveling. Share your show. And like, hey, yo. Survive. And you know me. And Roshan. Shoot the key.
That is